Hi. Okay, so I don't know how many takes it's been, but my kids keep interrupting me, so I'm going to try and make this fast. Tonight's post is about depression. The main reason is because I suffer from depression, always have, just didn't realize it until I was an adult. The main reason that I think I suffer from depression is because of the environment that I was raised. My mother and my father both have trouble expressing emotions in a constructive manner. My mother is depressed. I can tell by some of the comments and things that she makes and that she's always made that led me to believe that I was depressed. So I finally went and sought help after being pregnant with my daughter and thinking that they would be better off without me. When I had kind of started planning to figure out who would be the best suited caretaker of my children, and I got to the bottom of the list and realized that nobody would be as good of a parent as I was, or that I didn't want to place the burden on them. I decided to seek help because I realized at that point that it was not something that was true. It wasn't rational for me to feel that way, but that's how I felt. So I sought help and got set up. I ended up doing 5 years of therapy. Probably still need some therapy, but there's only so much therapy you can go through before you're like, okay, I'm done with this. I've heard it all before. That said, I think a lot of people give up too soon. So I'll just kind of fast forward here. Been through 5 years of therapy, lots of self-help books, lots of positive thinking, mindfulness training. I'm very active in that kind of thing. So even with as active as I am, as eager as I am to think about things in a positive manner, giving an alternative perspective, I still find myself struggling with it. So we will kind of bring it back to about a month ago. I first noticed I was starting to get depressed because I was just very, very irritable. I didn't really want to be around people, and I'm a social person, so I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want to deal with anything. I had started to lose interest, but not horribly, in just day-to-day activities. And I kind of thought that it was not that big of a deal, that I could just control it. And so I didn't go back on my meds. I just kind of went through the motions and just kind of figured that it would fix itself. And fast forward to 2 weeks ago, I felt very badly for some reason, for no reason whatsoever. I actually left work. Actually, I guess it was more than 2 weeks ago, but it was probably about a month ago that I left work, and I said, I can't do this right now. I don't want to be here. I have no idea what's going on. I can't shake this mood. I need to go home. So I came home. And then about 2 weeks ago, I was just in a really bad place mentally, just very stressed, really didn't know how to deal with things. Decided that I should get back on my meds, but I was waiting until the right time because they make me really nauseous when I get back on them. This past weekend, I was at family's for a family reunion. And I love my family dearly. They're very positive people most of the time, just very fun to be around in general. And my husband loves being around my family. So when I was around them and I didn't really feel like I was having fun, like I knew I was enjoying myself, I was relaxing, I was just being in the moment, trying to be mindful of where I was. I realized though very quickly that I wasn't having fun. I wasn't overly enthusiastic about anything. I didn't really want to be there. And honestly, I could have cared less whether I was there or elsewhere. And I knew at that point that my depression had really spiked. So when I got home from that adventure on Sunday night, I took my meds for the first time. So Monday, I'm at work rinsing out a water cup in the sink. And at this point, I realized it was really bad because as I was rinsing it out, there was a cleaner that was in front of me that I could tell was a really bad, like really toxic cleaner. And I had said to myself, oh, I could use that to clean up my cup. And the negative voice or the positive voice inside my head, like, oh yeah, because that would be the smart thing to do, you know, kill yourself with that. And of course the negative voice inside of my head that had been kind of taking over the past couple of months said, yeah, nobody's gonna miss you, why not? And at that point I kind of thanked myself for going back on my meds the day before, but realizing that this is probably the worst that it's been in a really long time, and I didn't even realize how bad it was. So the thing about this is that once you realize that you're depressed, it doesn't change the fact that you still feel that way. It doesn't change the negative voices that are in your head. I kind of describe it like a mixture between a black hole with a shipmate, right? That it does nothing but tell you how horrible you are. So the black hole sucks up all the positivity, all of the positive emotions, the smiles, the laughter, the enjoyment, as well as the sadness, the grief, the anger. It sucks everything up. But there's still this voice inside your head that says, you know what? You're worthless. You don't belong here. Nobody likes you. You're ugly. You're a pain in the ass. You are a horrible mother, or you know, a horrible employee, a horrible leader, and all of those things kind of take its toll. Because you know that it's not rational. So even if you've been through, you know, 5 years of therapy, a couple of years of mindfulness training, you know that none of this stuff is true. I know I'm a great leader. I know I'm a great mother. I know that I'm beautiful. I know that I'm a good person. I know that I take care of the things around the house that need to be taken care of, financially and structurally and everything else that goes on in our house. But when you have depression, it sucks because you can break a glass in the kitchen and suddenly you feel like life isn't worth living anymore. Over a glass. That's how messed up this disease is. So the main reason that I wanted to shoot this video and share this as one of my first posts is for people to understand that if you have a friend or a family member who's depressed, you may not even know it, they may not even know it, but if they get angry or upset, or if they're not happy, it doesn't necessarily mean that you did anything wrong. It doesn't necessarily mean that they did anything wrong. It could just be depression. It could just be the way that it is. There's a lot of times where I just feel crappy, like mentally, like I'm not excited about anything. I don't want to do anything. It's just, I'm there, I'm living, and that's pretty much it. But there's no reason for it. There's absolutely no reason for it. There are times where I've sat and everything has been perfect. We've got money in the bank, the kids are playing, the husband's, you know, cuddling, everything in my life is perfect. And I cry for no reason. It's things like that I want people to understand, that while not normal to a normal person, it's normal for someone who has depression to go through that. And it doesn't make them an angry person or a sad person, or it's not like that. It's a completely different beast. And I felt the need to tell people this because I think that when people say I have depression, people automatically think, oh, that's a sad person. And it's not. These people have emotions just like the rest of us. Just like me. I have emotions just like you. But it's a situation where there's something else going on. There's another neurological issue going on where they just don't feel it as strongly as you might in that time frame because something else is blocking it. So keep that in mind when you're dealing with family members or friends who have depression, because they still love you. They still want to be around you, even if they don't really want to be around you. It's a constant struggle to know where their mental health lies at all times. It's a constant struggle to say, I can't be around my friends right now because of my mental state, but that's really where I want to be. Because knowing yourself and knowing what you can and can't do when you're depressed or when you're going through anxiety or any of the other things that you're going through, it's actually mentally healthy for a friend to say, I don't want to be around people, versus them saying, I'm going to go and be around people and still feel this way. So please keep that in mind. If there are any questions or concerns additionally around depression, please let me know. It's a pain in the neck to try to do things, and it's a lot of effort. So people who have depression are often more tired during depressive episodes because of how taxing it is on them. So if I don't get back to you right away, it's not because I don't want to hear your comments or because I don't want to reply. It's simply because I'm just dealing with things, and I appreciate your patience.